The Descendants of Cain, a tale of ambition and downfall. In the ancient world, long before great cities rose and civilizations flourished, there existed a lineage shrouded in mystery and fear, the descendants of Cain. Cain, the firstborn of Adam and Eve, bore the mark of divine judgment after slaying his brother Abel in a fit of jealousy. Cursed to wander the earth, he fled to the land of Nod, east of Eden, where his story didn't end. It was here that Cain began to forge a new path, one that would shape the future in unexpected and often tragic ways. The beginning of a legacy. Cain settled in Nod and married. Though marked and cursed, he sought to create something of his own, a testament to his strength and defiance. He built a city, the first city in human history, and named it after his son, Enoch.
This city was unlike anything the world had seen, a hub of innovation, culture, and eventually, decadence. Cain's descendants inherited his ingenuity and ambition. They were gifted artisans, musicians, and craftsmen. Among them were
Jabal, the father of those who lived in tents and herded livestock. Jubal, the father of music, who crafted the first lyre and flute. Tubal-Cain, a master smith who forged tools and weapons of bronze and iron. The lineage of Cain brought great advancements to humanity, but their gifts often came at a cost. For alongside their brilliance, there lingered a shadow of arrogance, pride, and a disregard for divine law. The rise of a corrupt culture. In Enoch, the descendants of Cain thrived, but their prosperity came with moral decay. They began to believe they were untouchable, that their abilities placed them above the Creator, who had marked their ancestor. Violence, greed, and indulgence became rampant. Tubal-Cain's mastery of weaponry turned the city into a fortress, but it also fueled conflict as power-hungry leaders sought to dominate one another. Jubal's music, once a gift of beauty and connection, became a tool of manipulation, stirring people into frenzies of desire and excess. Jabal's herding innovations brought wealth, but it also led to the hoarding of resources and exploitation of the land. The descendants of Cain began to worship their own creations, turning away from the Creator, who had once sought to guide them. They built idols from iron and gold, proclaiming themselves gods in their own right. The warning of Lamech. Among Cain's descendants was Lamech, a man both feared and revered. He was a warrior and a poet, a man who carried the legacy of his ancestors' brilliance and their flaws. Lamech took 2 wives, Ada and Zillah, and fathered children who carried on the traditions of their forebears, but Lamech also inherited the violence of Cain. One day, he killed a man in what he claimed was self-defense, declaring to his wives, "If Cain is avenged 7-fold, then Lamech 77-fold." This statement, full of pride and defiance, symbolized the complete moral collapse of Cain's lineage. They had embraced their curse, using it as a justification for their actions, rather than seeking redemption, the Great Flood. The corruption of Cain's descendants spread beyond the city of Enoch. Their influence reached other tribes, pulling humanity further from the Creator's light. This wickedness grieved the heart of God, who saw that the earth was filled with violence and sin, and so the Creator decided to cleanse the earth, to undo the corruption that had taken root. He found favor in Noah, a descendant of Seth, Cain's younger brother. While Noah built the ark, Cain's descendants continued in their ways, mocking the warnings of impending judgment. When the rains came and the floodwaters rose, the city of Enoch was among the first to be consumed. The works of Cain's descendants, their tools, their music, their idols, were swept away, leaving only echoes of their legacy, the lessons of Cain's lineage. Though their story ends in tragedy, the descendants of Cain left behind important lessons. Their brilliance and creativity were gifts that could have brought humanity closer to the divine. Instead, their pride and defiance led to their downfall. The tale of Cain's lineage reminds us of the delicate balance between ambition and humility, innovation and reverence. It is a cautionary tale of how even the most gifted among us can falter when we forget the source of our strength and the moral compass that guides us. In the end, the legacy of Cain's descendants is a story of potential, both its heights and its perils, a mirror for all who seek to create, lead, and leave a mark on the world.